live in the upper bracket.
The names Moist and Furia will forever be linked together in Rocket League lore. And now they do battle on day one of the final major before Worlds.
It's going to be a big matchup. Obviously, we talked about it on the desk. Furia have to start this major out strong. Moist looking to submit to the lower bracket early as both teams fight for a strong spring.
Means so much to Furia to give themselves a shot as this goes across. Juicy in his first RLCS LAN. He's been so clutch for this squad, a team that has played its fair share of overtimes in Moist, as Cash will take this from the side, go right at Lost, lose that battle, but not the wars. Juicy clears it away.
Gotta keep eyes out just on these off-ball plays especially. I mean, you saw Lost just moving upfield. He was trying to see if he had an option for Yan to get the pass through. Some of those plays from Furia might make or break things here. It's gonna be up to Moist to be able to identify the pressure and play around it.
On the subject of overtimes, Furia's played plenty as well as Yan will open up the scoring, and Furia doing what they do best early in game.
I love this. Lost got a bump there on the side. All Card had to do was get the 50 out, pinch straight out to Yan. You give him a free shot like that, he's gonna put it to the top corners every time. Top right goal to start this game off.
Furia and striking first, it's been a common theme. And this split, they've been able to finish the job when they score first. Lost over to Card, almost added another. Now Joyo, downfield, trying to give Yan something to think about. Cash all alone at the back, he's got contact coming, and it almost set one up for Lost as Card got in his way. Now Card, bring it back around, looking for the foot reset, could not get it away, and it's Cash. Very slowly out of the zone, only as far as Lost. Lost has been great in the midfield so far for Furia, setting up another opportunity that Juicy has to deal with on the backboard.
Lost has been great in the midfield. He's also been great off ball as well. A lot of these bumps and this pressure that Furia is putting on Moist has been really tough for Moist to be able to get out of their own half. Good thing for Furia is they have the mechanics, but they also have the awareness on the field to know that they're going to need a little bit more than that. There's the chip shot, and that's going to be the second goal from Yan in the same spot, top right corner.
Yan's got them both as Lost sets him up perfectly, brought the defense out, nobody back to recover. So many of those shots just today, I think the nerves have kind of played a factor. We've seen that shot go well wide from a lot of other teams, a lot of heavy favorites that have let lesser teams kind of play along with them. This one goes in, now Juicy, line up the double, not on target, and back downfield it goes.
It's gonna be, Juicy's gonna be a big X factor here. You gotta think, again, first time on this stage, obviously, we've seen nerves and land pressure over the course of today. If Juicy can get things going here for Moist early, he could possibly bring him back into this game. There's plenty of time on the clock, 3 minutes to go. It's just Furia just came out with such a strong start. You can tell, Stack, that they've been ready for this moment.
All their hopes really resting on Juicy as that shot from Joyo goes wide. Now Yan trying to bring this back central. It is picked away, but Lost is right there down the middle to clear it out. Would have been dangerous there for the Furia defense. Instead, they're right back on the attack. It's Card with Yan lurking behind him. Hillside flip back, and it's Lost that tries to bring it ahead, and he does so.
It's really tough here for Moist to just hold on to the possession. There's another demo on the back end. This was almost a free goal. Joyo had to jump from behind Yan to end up getting that touch out. It's just been Furia playing at this speed and Moist trying to catch up. Finally, a little bit of space from them, but only for a moment as Furia will just pinch it all the way back downfield.
Something that has dramatically changed for Furia between the first couple of splits and this all-important spring split. When they score first, they don't lose. They score, they win almost 90% of the games when they get the opening goal. A 2-goal lead like this seems almost insurmountable, especially for a team in Moist that does not score very much. Of the 16 teams here, they score the least per game. So they've got a massive uphill climb that Cash is trying to start from his own back line. Now Juicy, got to be the guy to get them going. Decent challenge that will allow Cash to come up. Joyo waiting for a pass, but it's way too close to net. So easily cleared out. The demolition away from the play, demolition in front of the net. still yielding no fruit at all as Joyo sets up Cash, and yet another pass, another redirect that's nowhere near where it needs to be for Moist.
But things are starting to settle there. Look at the confidence from Juicy off the ceiling for that challenge. They're keeping Moist in the back end. That's a shot, but not in. Cash taking that one so close. It's been the name of the game here for Moist. They've had 6 shots this game, but they haven't been able to put any in the back of the net.
They can get those infield passes much further out from the net. That's going to be available. Furia have been very tight-knit right up at their own goal line. The problem is they've converted their chances on the offensive end as Card makes it 3-0.
Look at that pressure. Card, again, getting that follow-up touch. He got the flip, used it there, and of course, even though Yan gets a piece of that, Card touches it on the way in. Just Furia, when they get the ball on the blue half, swarming, pressure, the name of the game, make Moist uncomfortable. It's been working out.
The shots are almost identical, 5 for Furia, 6 for Moist, but it's 3 out of 5 have gone into the net for Furia. Yan now again at the backboard in the final 30 seconds here. It seems like a little more than a formality, unless Moist can get something right about now to give themselves even a prayer, and they will not with that clearance from Card, and the time is going to run out on him here in the final 15 seconds. Furia dominant in this opening game. I mean, there were opportunities that might have been available for Moist if the passing had been better. Even though it's only a best of 5, it's a long series, plenty of time to recover, but it's a dominant shutout thrown by Furia in game 1.
Talk about dominant, my goodness. I mean, look at this. Yan again, more space, and it's not just the fact that he's putting on good shots, because that one was just straight down the middle. Furia take game 1. It's more about just the fact of Lost here, because we have to talk about him. He was phenomenal in terms of being the setup and making off-ball plays that allowed Furia to be able to get those good shot opportunities. And the net, primarily when Yan would take shots, would be mostly open for, so to speak. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. Furia looked like a well-rounded team, and Moist just looked like they were playing catch-up.
Yeah, Lost doing just about exactly what he was brought on to do. As we look back at the Mobile One High Performance replay, as Furia pitch a shutout in game 1, 4-0 for the North/South American squad. And now we look ahead now to game 2 as we get ready to go to Forbidden Temple, and look at the numbers there specifically for Lost. No, he didn't score, but he had an assist, he had a save, he had all 6 demos for Furia in that game, and that's exactly what he was brought on to do. He was brought on to make a difference for this Furia squad. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah, exactly, and this is a big thing for Lost. You got to think, coming from his former team, you know, he was the guy. Now it's like, okay, how do you handle a team environment where you have Yan and Lost both on this squad? Obviously, you can't leave all the work in the back end and the setup to Card. So what does Lost do? He decides to help out in his own end. He knows he's going to have space to do what he wants to on the ball, but if he can help the rest of the team and just become more of a team facilitator on and off the ball, you see the success there. 4-0 game 1. How will Moist be able to respond in Forbidden Temple? We've got game 2 on.
You go from being the guy on a roster, changing regions, and now you got to fit in. We look ahead over on the other stream. Optic up 2-1 in their series over NIP. Winner here plays the winner there in our final match over on the B stream. As Juicy will kick one out. Joyo's there with Cash on his way back. Can Joyo get the first goal? He sure can!
Joyo rises up and shows a little bit of physicality on this one. Over Lost. Card knows what's coming next. Gets the bump through. Moist with their first goal of the series.
So much is made of team records when they score first or they don't score first. Moist is one of only 4 teams at this event that don't score first in at least half their games. One of them's Power, the other 2 playing over on the B stream right now with NIP and Optic. Something's got to give over there as we've got business here on Forbidden Temple. Lost, looking to set up an equalizer. Going all the way across, got a boost steal out of it. Card bucked by Juicy, and Joyo will just delay, giving his teammates time to get boosted up.
A little awkward from Yan, but he's still staying on the ball. Even gets this one out in midfield, and Lost gets there first. The speed's still there on the side of Furia. We know that they can out-pressure Moist, but can Moist recover defensively to be able to stop the bleeding? So far, the opening of game 2 has gone very well for them. As again, you can see Cash control on that side while Juicy wanted to go for it, but has to back off. Lost thought he had space, but look at that Joyo eliminating that, closing the distance, and even some wins there in the midfield that are going to set up Moist offensively.
There's just something that this Moist roster has that is that human X factor that you can't really quantify with numbers, because you look at all their numbers and you go, how is this team here? BDS, a very similar team. You look at them and go, they don't have the numbers of a major team, but they were successful earlier today. Moist trying to replicate that as well. Try to go 2-0 today and avoid having to play tomorrow with the ball loose in front, and just barely cleared out. Juicy will have to go to work as well, and Cash to finish off a brilliant defensive effort out of Moist, looking to double their lead now, but Yan's in the way.
You're starting to see Moist get more comfortable as the games go on. Cash will get that double just straight to Cart though. Seeing them controlled, seeing them pass and transition. Big improvements here from game one.
Hard with Cash bearing down on him, got it away, and now Lost runs into Yan, so they can't connect. And Cash will bring it right back, so Moist looking to capitalize now after a rare miscue in the midfield by Furia. Hard left alone for the moment. Lost will cycle in behind him, but it's brought right back into the zone. It's Cash, and Lost is right there for it. Cash couldn't put it on target, so Lost will greatly take that. Now it's Yan lining up a double, could not convert.
That was a prime chance too, because there was a bump in the air between Juicy and Joyo, and Yan had that for free. Couldn't put it on target though, will want that one opportunity back. Here's Lost with a chance there, and again Joyo on that back wall there to deny. He's been in front of Lost a couple of times this game, just slowing down all of his advances.
You could say it kind of evens out because Juicy had a couple really good looks in game one. Moist unable to convert. There's the demo, and there's Card tying game two.
It's only a matter of time when Furia starts to get that pressure. You see how it pays off. Lost, look at that demo, sets it up. Card knocks it down. We got a tied up ball game.
Just under 2 minutes remaining here. Yet another classic brewing between Moist and Furia. Demo off the kickoff, gives Yan forever and a day to play this. Can he follow it up? No, he got nudged away. Still, at least, kept himself involved in the play. And Card has jumped by this. Well, he's got the defense just guessing all over the place, but finally cleared back. Well, this is free for Joyo for a moment. Past one, trying to get around two. Card in the way, now it's Juicy. He'll take his turn, looking for his first goal on an RLCS LAN. Not to be this time, but the pressure still remains a bit for Furia, or for Moist.
It does for a moment, but they're not doing it. They're not being as effective as they should be on offense. I mean, you saw that 2 individual plays straight to a Furia whose defense is set in net. They're not letting those go easily. They have to do a little bit more to make Furia uncomfortable if they want to get a goal through them. We're approaching the final minute. They've got the ball on the orange end, but this is showing signs of liquid. Oh, I say that, but the cannon strikes, forces it through. Moist take the lead.
Everybody was looking at Juicy, expecting him to maybe have a flip reset and bring it across. Instead, it just slowly bounces there, and while everybody's staring at him, Cash comes up unchecked and puts Moist back in front in the final minute. Lost looking to answer right back, though. Oh, the net is wide open, and we're tied again!
Right off the kickoff. Oh my goodness, they try to lose it. Ball gets away. Joyo can't win the 50, and there's no one home for Moist. All that work to take the lead just to have it diminished instantly.
4 goals for Yan, 2 for Card to pace Furia. Back and forth they go again. Perhaps an overtime looming. About a quarter of Moist games in this spring split have gone into overtime, and they've been okay, but not great. Yan will give way to Card. Juicy bring it right back in. Yan's there. Now Joyo, got to bring this all the way back. Got it to Cash just barely, quickly enough. Final 15 seconds of regulation in game 2. Furia took game 1 in convincing fashion. Moist have arrived here at Forbidden Temple. Can they at least keep this around and not have to worry about going to overtime? Oh, Juicy put it well wide. This goes to ground, and we will, in fact, have sudden death for game 2.
Moist trying to get a last-second play in, couldn't work out. Now they have to play overtime. Kickoff goes way better than it did earlier for them. They even get this one a pinch, and see Furia having to make some heroics here defensively to finally get them some room.
This could kick out hard from the corner. Lost got a piece of it. He'll keep it alive on the offensive end. Yan coming up as well. Cash dances around him. He's time to put in a lot of work on this possession defensively. Here goes Juicy. He's been so great in overtime for Moist this spring. Looking to add another to his cap. Loose ball. Juicy there. Sailed it a little high. Couldn't follow, but Joyo can, and Moist level the series.
And Juicy finally makes the splash there for Moist. Gets that one off the back wall, gets the bump, takes Lost out the play, and Joyo able to slam it home. Moist show up in a big-time overtime win here to tie the series.
Did not score, did not need to. He's got a playmaker. Had a hand in all 3 goals for Moist. And I think that's a performance that Juicy can look at and go, all right, it's fine. Nerves are gone. You know, he absolutely belongs here. Again, this Moist team has defied all logic on their path to this spot, and it just continues as they weather the storm from Furia. They give up, I think you could argue, kind of a cheap goal to tie it up the second time around, but they persevere and take it in OT.
Right, exactly. I mean, the way that they're able to work through that as well has been fantastic. Just to be able to see them, you know, they start off in game number 1, they go into that, and it's not really necessarily as physical as I think we would like to be against Furia. Furia made that very evident. If you're not going to play that game, we'll play it 4-0. They come into here. Not only do they limit Furia to 2 goals compared to 4, but of course they get physical as well on the offensive end. 2 of those 3 goals were there was some physicality in the play, whether it was the air dribble bump from Joyo or whether it was the demo from Juicy. So you're starting to see Moist adapt, which is a great sign for them.
Yeah, you know, where Moist doesn't score a whole lot on their own, they also don't get blown out. They don't get scored on as much as other teams that are in that realm. So that first game, a bit of an anomaly. See if they can continue on now with a little more confidence under their belt. Lost gets around 1, got around 2. There's Card, stopped by Juicy, but a wide open net, and Lost will make sure it goes in. His first goal of the series.
You got to give it up to Lost here. It gets past 2. Juicy's last back. All Card has to do is play the 50. He knows Yan's going to be there for an open net. That's another kickoff goal that Moist ended up giving up.
If you're joining us from watching Optic and NIP, welcome in. They're moving a little bit faster over there. It's fine. 1-1 here between Moist and Furia. I mean, Lost, Yan has been outstanding. Lost has been a menace at the midfield for Furia. Got his first goal of the series. Probably deserves to have a couple more the way he's been playing. Here's Juicy at the playmaker in game 2. Knocks Card to the backboard, and Yan will have this one away. He's got Lost underneath, but no follow-up.
Ooh, I like this here from the turn from Lost, slowing things down. Juicy places to the corner, but Lost got that boost. Sends it downfield, and Yan, instead of rotating back, waiting there in that midfield line, is able to get a piece of the ball, pinching it all the way upfield. Furia's trusting each other starting to show here in game 3. Even though they got off to a strong start, you can see that they're not letting go of the pace.
Lost trying desperately to get that ball, but Joyo beat him to it. Didn't have any boost in the tank and couldn't steal any either. It spawned in behind him. Here goes Cash, though. He's got plenty to work with, but he's also got Lost in his way again, who, again, is, I mean, as great as Yan has been, you might make a case that Lost has been the MVP for this Furia squad so far through 2.5 games.
And here, looking for that follow-up touch, does get it, and got a beat. Lost had the speed, but he didn't have the accuracy. So it'll go off to the side. Things not looking good here on the side of Moist unless Cash can get a bump. Got the bump! Woo! The shot came through as well, but it was blocked out by Lost. Follow-up from Juicy. Bar down and in. We are tied up.
Give him the ball. It's his first RLCS land goal, and it just barely ekes across the line. Bar down, hit everything, and finally got across. 1-1 here in game 3. We said it earlier, Daz. These two teams, they're linked in Rocket League lore, and it looks like another epic brewing between the two.
You can see it. I mean, it looked a little shaky for Moist at the start of this game. First 2 minutes did not look in their favor at all, but they're still able to pull it back. That offensive aggression coming out from them is phenomenal. Mechanics opening up the Furia defense, and then of course the shots have been on target, which is always dangerous. We talked about Juicy being an X factor. He is showing out here in this series.
Oh, here goes Joyo. Got a lot of space to work with, but just could not direct that towards net quickly enough. Juicy lost control here, so Yan will come out of a pack. And got around Cash, got around everybody. It's like he just lulled them to sleep and then picked them apart.
Well, I mean, look at this. Free touch there, plays it one touch over Cash, has the second one before Joyo can get to the ball, and it's just all Yan on that play from one side of the field to the other. That's why he's so great, and that's why Fury is up.
I think people kind of wondered, a little bit like with Monkey Moon, you know, have we seen the best that we're gonna see out of Yan? Nah, there's some unfinished business, and you get him back in this environment, he's a completely different monster. It's Card all alone to the back here with Lost cycling in as well. Yan back into the play. Who's gonna take charge? It's Lost, indirect, intercepted. Juicy all the way across. What can he do with this? It's high, but missed by Card. Nobody was there though for Moist, and why would they be? You certainly can't expect a player of Card's caliber to misplay that ball. So now Juicy will intercept, and maybe that was better served going back to Cash. Here goes Yan, looking to make him pay for the mistake, and nothing doing there.
Moist got to get things going. Juicy with the demo. Joyo has the flip reset. Lost. Goal line touch. Cash can't get around it. It'll go to the sidewall. So close there on the side of Moist. But Furia hold things down in the goal line and bring the ball all the way back to the other side of the field here, where they look to try to see if they can add one more. It's been really tough for Moist to break through. Joyo trying to win the 50, doesn't work out. And the follow-up can't even get there because Lost was so quick to the ball.
Lost to Yan again, another blistering shot, this time saved by Juicy, who's right at him. Now Joyo got around one again, and Yan stopped him there too. Joyo starting to cook a little bit though. Cash's shot, high, follow-up, pinballs around. It's still dangerous and slammed home.
Disaster on the defense of Furia. Plays this across. Joyo, that touch right off of Joyo's car on the Card. He's trying to recover. Meanwhile, Joyo jumps right on top of the ball, takes advantage of the opportunity, and we are still playing on tied-up game in the final minute of Game 3.
And a great look at the ensuing kickoff. Yet again, 2-all here in the final minute. Almost looks like a carbon copy of Game 2. It's Card. Around the boards, but not quite out of the zone. Now he will finish the clearance, and he's got Lost in transition. Yan coming up as well on the wing, and Juicy holds his ground. But now Card's got to scramble back. He might have to get involved in this play, but he's just wasted a lot of boost, so it's Lost now. Full tank to the backboard. Juicy there to make sure there's nothing brewing.
Gotta keep eyes on Moist boost-wise. This one's going way downfield. Card gonna get the corner. Cash still got the beat and is tangling up Card. Joyo tries to play this lightly, but it doesn't end up working out. This off the corner. Juicy trying to get a good 50, but that one won't get past Lost either. Furia may have a chance to win the game here, but Joyo with the denial. Can he turn things around here on the side of Moist? Final 10 seconds. Cash, that's a miss. Lost is on the ball. Pinches over to the side. Yeah, keeps this up. Will he be able to follow this through? Gets denied. Card keeping this one in play, but Juicy has to ground it here. It will fall. Game 3 overtime winner puts this series on match point.
It was Furia that had to equalize in Game 2. Moist doing the honors here to send us to overtime at DFH, and an almost very quick overtime, if not for the defensive efforts of Joyo. Lost coming in, met by Cash, and now Yan. They got a little help there, as Joyo will lob it forward for Juicy, who almost won Game 3 and would have stunned Furia in the process.
I think this has been quite the game, though. Both teams have been matching each other mechanically. You can see they've also been keeping up on the same pace speed-wise. The question is who's going to end up making that mistake? Who's going to step up? Is it going to be Juicy trying to get the dunk on Lost? Can't do it. Lost holding on again defensively here in Game 3 for Furia.
And Lost calling off his teammate behind him, letting him take this downfield, but it's right back in their face. Cash got a piece of Lost. Great recovery, though, to stay with this, and now Yan over towards Lost. Lost and Card were both there, and one well-timed clearance probably could have spelled disaster for Furia. They'll be counting their lucky stars. This game continues on. Again, Furia, of all the teams here, they averaged the longest overtimes at just over 2.5 minutes. This one should have ended a couple of times, but instead Cash will just prance out of the zone with it.
They had Moist in a tough spot. I mean, Juicy thought that Yan was going to put that on target, removed himself from the play. The follow-up shot wasn't there as well. Prime opportunity from Furia that's going to go by the wayside. They're going to try to see if they can work again. Joyo was made awkward there, but Juicy, that extra challenge, not waiting for Furia to bring the ball to the goal line. They're getting up there early. Oh, shot there! Joyo!
How about the setup from Cash? Every touch critical. He put the full mechanics on display to set up Joyo. 3-2, Moist up by 1 now in the series.
My goodness, on a blink of an eye, Cash used everything. All the boost he had in the tank, anything in his arsenal to get that ball to Joyo, and Joyo put the shot home. What a big win there, because I'm telling you, that game, back and forth, it was almost, I mean, if the shot goes the other way from Furia, they would have been in this same exact position. They kind of let this one get away from them.
The story of Cash has always been, yeah, but in the big games, in the big moments, not so much. I don't know what more he has to do to dispel those myths, dispel those rumors. That play right there is a perfect example as he sets up Joyo for the winner. Whew. Top play worthy, and you know what? Maybe we might be seeing that play a few more times over the course of this week and weekend.
And you got to think on the side of Fury, man, that's so tough. Lost was having a phenomenal game there. Lots of good stops from him. They were able to turn the ball around. They were also able to put Moist in a pretty big chokehold, but they weren't able to capitalize off of it. The pressure that was working out so well from them at the start of the series has not necessarily been helping them out now. They've got to change some things up here. Otherwise, they risk going to the lower bracket early.
Moist looking to find a way yet again. Up 2-1 in the series. Utopia up next.
We'll see how long this clash can continue. Right now, the stage is set in the Coliseum. Moist have Furia right where they want them. But you know what they say, don't mess with a cornered cat.
There goes Lost right at Juicy. A rare loss for Lost. And now Joyo very quickly to this ball. Nobody really turning on this though. So Joyo's all alone to set one up. Now Card, after Moist gets boosted up, trying to get across the center line, he does, but it's very short-lived. Now Yan, bring it back in. He's got Card underneath, and no goal there. But now look out, here goes Juicy, needs some help, and there's really nobody there. Joyo got across, but Juicy just didn't have the momentum to bring that central. It surely should have been a goal, though, for Moist.
I mean, it was free for a while there. Furia was definitely overextended. Juicy had a lane, but was not able to make the most out of it. Cash, though, trying to get things set here for Moist early as they're trying to get on the board. Furia have been in some close situations, and they've kind of gotten away with things here early on, but they're not stopping that shot! The cannon explodes! Moist up in front!
Cash has come alive here. Like a Porsche with no brakes. 1-0 now to Moist. He had a brilliant setup for the overtime winner, and he opens the scoring in Game 4. A must-win for Furia if they're to stay alive in the upper bracket.
Starting to settle here. Furia bumping into each other there. Moist really starting to control the possession here. Card leaves it for Lost. Lost trying to get that 50, but it goes off the crossbar. Yeah, it gets there in time for if it can keep this in play, but it is not enough. Needs a little bit more work because Moist have gotten set in defense. Bumps downfield. Cash trying to take the king out. Card, though, with the carry. He can't stop Juicy. Moist with another goal.
Had a playmaker in Game 2 for all 3 of their goals. He's added a couple since, including this one with Card all awkward, trying to deal with contact, trying to deal with the ball. Moist has everything going their way right now.
And V1 fans starting to have a little bit of hope here. We'll see, though. Plenty of game to go. 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Moist with a 2-goal lead here against Furia.
A lot of interested eyes around this arena on this matchup. There's so much of the conversation between the Europe and North American regions coming in here as Joyo's shot is just blocked away. Watch the transition, intercepted by Juicy. And now Cash quickly downfield. I mean, both teams are throwing caution to the wind right now and not playing a whole heck of a lot of defense as that's blocked away and harmlessly across. People had talked about it kind of being a depleted North American lineup here at this LAN, but still Moist felt like if any of the EU teams are going to fall, this was going to be the one. We've already seen one EU team fall. It was not these guys, and it doesn't look like it's going to be. Up 2 goals here in a closeout opportunity against Furia.
Optic are sitting pretty as well, also up ahead of Furia right now. Furia need this win if they want to pass them back up. We'll see if they can make things work. It's not looking good right now. Moist have been in control for most of the game. Furia have had opportunities. They've gotten 4 shots on the board here, but those have been, I have short-term memory. I don't really remember them stacks, to be honest. It's just been the Cash.
Oh, my
Can the Cannon get that one? No, it'll be denied, but it was very close to going in.
Remember that moment at about $1.50. If Moist does not close this out, where they could have put a 3rd goal home, but somehow Furia kept it out. Of course, Furia still got a ton of work to do here. Lost very quickly off the side for this. Jan and Lost are there. Card's got to save the day, and he can't. It's a race to the ball here. Joyo won the race. Follow-up is denied by Lost.
That's the 3rd opportunity. Furia's been too far forward. Moist has had the ball downfield, and they haven't been able to score every single time. It's a 2-goal game, but Furia need to get things going on the other end. Otherwise, all of this defensive heroics that they've had will be for nothing.
That just got around Joyo, but the redirect denied by Juicy. And now Card, all he can do is sky that up there and hope he can get to it, which he does. But there's still Joyo putting all that effort to waste. And now Cash keeping it central, but Juicy not diving in. Wisely so, as Moist does not need any more offense, but they'll gladly take it. Loose in front and off to the corner. 45 seconds remain for Furia's life in the upper bracket. And they don't seem to be making a whole lot of forward progress. Here's Juicy looking to set up the dagger, but it's set off to the side again.
Even in that final 30 seconds, Juicy in the air. Might go off the ceiling, it doesn't matter! It's Joyo! Putting the dagger in! You see them getting loud on the side of Moist! They know they've got this one in their hands!
Sing it with me, everybody. Cash, Joyo, and Juicy. Got kind of a nice little flow to it as Moist put together a clinical finish to this series. It's almost a mirror image of how the series started, with Furia dropping 4 unanswered on top of Moist. And then Moist came alive, more specifically Juicy absolutely took over. Then Cash, and then Joyo. A full team effort as Moist, EU's number 5 seed, absolutely dominates the finale and survives and advances along the upper bracket.
Revenge is a dish best served Moist. 3-1 against Furia, and in that final game, it looked like nothing was stopping them from taking that win. Things started off one-sided. Furia, complete control. They had offensive presence. They showed up there. But game after game after game, you saw Moist kind of understanding how this Furia's team worked, making those changes, making those adaptations, and, I mean, completely turned the tables on them in this series.
How about this for a rookie performance on LAN? First RLCS game on LAN, or series on LAN. 4 assists and a couple of goals. Add a playmaker in there as part of that process for Juicy. That is how you make a splash. That's how you send a message that you are not deterred by the nerves.
Everybody kind of knew what to expect from Joyo. I mean, going here, he was the 3rd. He had the 3rd most played games in a LAN next to Vatira and Rise. But when you saw the X Factor and Juicy really shine, when you saw Cash, who had question marks coming into a LAN environment, the Cannon showed up. And you really wonder, where does it end here for Moist? Because right now they are on top of the world.
They are on top of the world right now. You get 5 goals out of Joyo, a pair each out of Cash and Juicy. As we look back again at the Mobile One High Performance replay, and we see just how Moist chipped away. They kept grinding. They kept wearing down Furia, and in the end, It was just too much. Subi standing by on stage with a familiar friend from Moist Esports.
My, oh my, it's been a long time since we've got the chat up on the stage. Joyo, how does it feel to finally be back up here to represent Moist Esports?
I mean, I'm finally back. I'm back, baby.
Now, you've done this with 3 different rosters. How do you keep doing this with different iterations of teammates? It doesn't matter. One thing that stands true is you are here with Moist Esports. How do you continue that success?
I mean, sometimes it's look at the draw, but I think I've got a good, like, scouting ability, you know? Talent ID. It's pretty good, so, I mean, I keep finding the talents. I keep finding the people I want to work with, and it keeps working.
I mean, it does keep working, and you somehow did it with this roster with Juicy and Cash, I'm sorry. And, you know, you got some LAN rookies. You've got the experience. You're the veteran. You've won a major before. What were the talks like during the trip here, last night, et cetera, to kind of get in their heads?
This is the hardest I've worked with a team. You know, with Rise and Matera, for example, we didn't really do much, like, talking, and we just were naturally that team that just beat everyone. We've had to work really hard to get here. We've had to work really hard to win this series, had to work really hard for everything, and we're not going to take it for granted.
I mean, hard work always pays off no matter what you're doing in life, and you're a true representative of that. Now, you've been such a strong representative ever since you were with Team Queso, and then Moist Esports saw something special in you. What does it mean to be able to represent this organization so many times on this stage? What does Moist Esports mean to you as a player and just personally?
I mean, there's only one thing you can really say. Let's get wet. It's Moist till I die.
Moist till you die. You love to hear that if you're a Moist Esports fan. Now, this was a tough season for you guys, tough split rather. You barely squeaked in, number 5 in EU. What is it going to take to break this team into the top 3, not only in Europe, but of the world?
I mean, we just got to have the ice, and I mean, we showed it this game, and if we keep showing it, then the potential's limitless.
Potential's always limitless when Moist Esports is not only on the field, but on the stage. They always bring magical moments to these majors.